We are luminous figure painters. Welcome! This is the second in a series of painting tutorials for the Craftworld Ulthwé in a grimdark style. Today, I'll be showing you how to paint a Farseer from Ulthwé, those who have been tainted by the Eye of Terror. Now let's light our lamps and grab our brushes. First, we'll prime the body and head with Vallejo black primer. At about 20 psi, you can just spray it all over, then repeat for the helmet. Then some scale color black down to matte the body down. Now we'll start working on the helmet. Put down a base coat of khaki from Vallejo Game Air. Now add a layer of bone white from Vallejo Game Air. This is the part where we break from tradition. Thin some Vallejo Game Ink sepia and turn your compressor way the heck down. Seriously, I'm talking a single pound per square inch. You want to get some very tiny splotches in order to make this look like aged bone. We'll be repeating this step in the next color, Bone White from Vallejo Game Air. This time, though, we'll be shooting at more of an angle, and we want to cover up a little bit more of the previous layer at the zenith of the model. The final highlight is with super thin Vallejo model color, Ivory. Lots of speckles aimed toward the top. If you find that you've covered up just a little bit too much of your sepia, you can go back with some of it. Now we'll mix Contrast Medium and Skeleton Horde from Citadel at a 2:1 ratio, concentrating this wash into the recesses. But it's also okay to glaze a little over the surface, as we'll be coming back and cleaning this up quickly with a damp brush. Now we'll essentially be repeating the same process that we used in the airbrush, except with a bristle brush. Don't be afraid, just keep your paints thin and use little tiny dots. It'll look great. Finally, at the end, you can add some scratches with Ivory. Now add a layer of Vallejo model color leather brown to the bags and straps, followed by a messy highlight / dry brush / stipple using Vallejo model color orange brown. Now put a base coat of Vallejo model color turquoise on the sash and tabard. Highlight with light turquoise, and finally mix light turquoise and ivory for a second highlight. Be random and do good things. Now we'll mix Vallejo model color blue-green and white to make a pastel turquoise. Add this mixture to scale color black to make a colored gray. Rub off the excess to dry brush this color onto the cloak. In the following steps, you'll simply dry brush a little less as you add more pastel to the black. At the end, get a fine brush and put down some scratches. You want to be a little bit refined with this step, making sure that the cloak is mostly black. Think about 60%. Now we can put down some metals. Base the jewelry on the model with Citadel's Warplock Bronze, then highlight with Brass Scorpion, and finally mix Brass Scorpion and Vallejo Metal Color Gold to make it pop. Base the Singing Spear in Jet Exhaust from Vallejo Metal Color and highlight with Metal Color Pale Burnt Metal, then finally highlight with Chrome. Remember that the key to characterful metal is to messily scratch the surface. Now we can base the spirit stones in chrome and glaze it with a mixture of soulstone blue and waystone green from Citadel Technical Paints. The one step I didn't show is a quick gloss varnish from Vallejo Mecha Varnish using your airbrush. Thin slightly with thinner and wait 15 minutes to dry. After that, grab Ammo by Mig's dark brown wash for green vehicles and slather that sweet syrup all over the model. You can use a hairdryer to speed up the drying process and then remove the excess with white spirits from Winsor & Newton. It just wouldn't be a luminous model without OSL, now would it? Add some flow improver and thinner to some Liquitex white ink, load it into your airbrush, and start to glaze some value emanating from a specific light source. You can take your time with this and make sure that the most opaque white is at or around the source and fades the farther you get from there. Now, mix some blue and green ink from Vallejo Game Ink and thin it slightly, then glaze over the established light source and adjacent areas. Build this up in thin layers and make sure it's quite vibrant. Now we'll do some value sketching with white or ivory from Vallejo Model Color. Highlight the areas that will be catching the most light from the source, such as metallics and hard angles. You can even add a little sizzle effect like I did on the cloak and hand. The final step is to thinly glaze a fluorescent paint over the white and a little beyond. You can repeat all of these steps to your satisfaction. And that's a finished model. Add a base that you like, blend it into the environment with weathering effects, and seal that elf wizard up however you like. Looks pretty cool, huh? Thanks for watching. I'll have more tutorials up in the coming months. In the meantime, drop me a like, comment, or subscribe to my channel and social media sites linked in the description. That's it for now. Have a safe journey, and make sure to bring a light.